The wind whispered like a restless spirit among the tall pines, its mournful song rattling the cabin's windows. Snow piled heavy against the glass, and icy breath curled around every beam, trapping the world in frozen silence. Inside, the fireplace lay cold and empty, its hearth a hollow reminder of warmth long lost. Logan Pierce sat motionless in his wheelchair, its silhouette angled toward the dead flames as though mourning their extinguished glow. And he was 44 years old, yet felt centuries older. Once a disciplined, fearless US Marine, now a man amputated in half by wide, cruel shrapnel. Nights like this, the ache in his chest was sharper than the winter cold. His hand hovered over the backup battery switch on his chair, the one they'd installed for his circulatory support. One press, he thought, the darkness would follow, and no more pretending would be necessary. But then came a sound that was not the wind. A muffled thud on the porch. What could it be? Logan's breath caught his claw like taps rapped against the wood. Irritation flared. Probably a coyote. Yet when he wheeled himself to the door and swung it wide, he saw neither fox nor feline, but a German shepherd coated in frost, his powerful frame trembling under the winter night's weight. Logan froze as the dog locked eyes with him. No ordinary gaze, but a look that drilled through years of ice around Logan's heart. Had to be wrong. Impossible. Yet there he stood. Hawk! Silence stretched between snow-laden breaths until the dog pressed his forehead gently against Logan's thigh, right above the faded combat patch on Logan's worn flannel shirt. Logan's hand trembled as it sank into Hawk's damp fur, cold, alive, and unmistakably real. And unmistakably real. The blinking light on his chair's control panel lost all meaning. Tears streamed down Logan's cheeks as he whispered, "You came back." "You came back?" Hawk's ears flicked forward, his eyes unblinking, as if to say, "I never left." In that moment, the world beyond the cabin walls fell away, and for the first time in years, Logan's heart felt whole again. The mission was not over. Not yet. A memory stirred in the back of Logan's mind. The day Hawk, subject 107, arrived at the rescue facility. Skinny, scarred, limping on a hind leg, with no collar to claim him. The intake form barely noted him until a technician, out of habit, scanned the microchip between his shoulders. Military data flickered to life. 9 Hawk, United States Marine Corps, retired. Her heart skipped. The handler on file, Staff Sergeant Logan Pierce. The rescue coordinator left him a calm, direct voicemail explaining they'd found his dog. 3 days later, Hawk was gone, the fence chewed through. Footprints caught on camera as he slipped away into a raging snowstorm. 27 miles of white hell later, here he stood again on Logan's porch. No coincidence. This was Hawk following his mission. In the spring of Logan's final deployment to Afghanistan, chaos had erupted in an instant when an wide shredded beneath their transport. Flame and metal reduced the world to searing noise and blinding light. When the dust settled, Logan lay trapped, blood pooling beneath him. Hawk, wounded and bleeding, had ignored his own agony, jaws clutching Logan's vest, dragging him clear of the wreckage. Medics dared not touch Hawk until they proved their credentials. That day, destiny entwined their fates. Logan was medically discharged. Hawk, too injured for duty, was slated for retirement. Paperwork promised they'd stay together, only for the system to swallow the promise, scattering it like ash on the wind. Logan feared Hawk had been adopted away, or worse. But now, frost of fur, he was here at last. They moved inside, and Logan found the old firewood. He'd not lit a fire in months, yet tonight Hawk lay at his side as Logan struck a match. The cabin filled with the warm crackle of flames, the dancing light reflecting in Hawk's eyes. For a moment, they simply breathed together, man and dog united by stars too deep for words. Logan reached down, sliding a trembling hand over Hawk's muzzle. The dog lifted a paw and laid it gently on Logan's dear, same gesture before every mission. Logan's chest tightened with something he thought dead. Purpose. At dawn, the first sunbeam slipped through frosted panes. Logan slept past it, as he always did, until a soft nudge roused him. Hawk sat beside his left wheel, tail thudding against the floor, leash clutched in his teeth. Logan groaned, but Hawk's single low bark carried the weight of command. He needed no more coaxing. Sliding down the ramp together, Logan in his chair, Hawk pacing just off his wheel, they rolled into the crisp morning air as they once had on distant base camps. Muscle memory guided their steps. The world felt a fraction less lonely. Breakfast had been a blur before, skipped or cold toast abandoned. But this morning, Hawk sat across the table, eyes unwavering, nose nudging Logan's bowl of oatmeal. Logan pushed the plate away. Hawk tapped it back. Eat, survive, keep going. The simplicity of that command ignited something inside Logan. He poured the cereal, the first meal he'd eaten by choice in months, and for the first time felt alive. Emboldened, Logan logged into his virtual therapy session. Under Hawk's watchful gaze, he performed stretches, lifting himself with trembling arms back into his chair. Weeks earlier, the thought of therapy had felt like torture. Now it felt like life. Soon came in-person sessions, practicing sliding from bed to chair, strengthening arms to bear more weight. All the while, Hawk lay at his feet, ever vigilant. On afternoon walks, neighborhood children would slow their bikes at the gate, whispering, "Look, the Marine and his dog." Hawk greeted them with calm dignity, ears softening as little hands stroked his fur, but his eyes never strayed far from Logan. Night brought nightmares, explosions, screams, bone-cracking echoes of that final mission. Logan would jolt awake, heart hammering, breath ragged. Hawk responded instantly, scaling the bed with measured grace, pressing his weight gently against Logan's chest. A single paw tap in soft Morse code. "You're safe." Logan's panic would ebb, his heartbeat steadying. Hawk's silent vigil tethered him to the present. The local veteran center hosted a small gathering. Logan hesitated at the doorway, his voice gone, his confidence buried under guilt and shame. Hawk, sensing the moment, stepped forward, placing a paw at a wheelchair handle. He tugged gently, pulling Logan to center stage. The room stilled. Stilled. Hawk sat obediently at Logan's side as Logan braced himself on a walker. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. The crowd erupted in applause. Through trembling lips, Logan whispered, "I could not walk alone, but I never really had to." True. And in that moment he understood he was seen, not as a broken soldier, but as a man redeemed. Thursday mornings became their sanctuary, a ritual roll to the park trail, Hawk pacing like a shadow. One such morning, Logan paused to stretch, leaned forward, and then nothing. His body convulsed in sudden stillness, the world slipping away. The wrist device in his chair flickered futilely, signal lost in the park's dead zone. Before it could chirp a full warning, Hawk tore toward the street. Horns blared, tires screeched. Without hesitation, Hawk leaped against a passing car's window, barking until the driver saw the service vest. Following Hawk back, the woman found Logan mid-stroke. Paramedics arrived in minutes that saved his life. Hospital days blurred into nights of worry. Hawk refused food, pacing outside the ICU door until he collapsed. Tests confirmed Logan's dread, a large tumor pressing on vital organs. The surgery was perilous and costly. Logan sold his car, emptied savings meant for home modifications, and told the vet, "This is repayment, not charity." Hawk emerged from surgery weaker, his gait slower, his bark softer. Yet his eyes still burned with unwavering fire. Weeks later, the town square filled for a ceremony honoring service animals. Hawk, in a decorated vest, stood beside Logan, who wheeled onto the stage. The mayor spoke. Children held signs reading, reading, "Oh, thank you, Hawk." When Logan spoke, his voice cracked. Most people think Hawk is a dog, a tool, a helper. They're wrong. He's my brother in arms. He didn't just save my body. He saved the parts of me I thought were lost. Hawk is not a pet. He's a warrior who never stopped serving. And because of him, I never stopped living. The crowd rose as one, applause echoing like thunder. Hawk's chest swelled in proud salute, soldier to the end. That afternoon, Logan wheeled himself onto the creaking porch boards. Heeds. Hawk lay at his side, grey-flecked fur blending with earth, eyes fixed on a horizon only he could see. Logan reached down, fingers brushing the dog's head. "You can rest now, old boy," he whispered. Hawk's breath slowed, deepened, and then fell, silent. Deepened, and then fell silent. His head remained on Logan's boot, eyes open in calm vigil. Dawn broke on a quiet grief. Beneath the old oak behind the cabin, Logan dug a small grave. He placed Hawk's collar beside a folded American flag at the foot of the freshly carved headstone. Loyal beyond orders, silent till the end. No words were spoken, none were needed. Neighbors left flowers, a veteran carved a wooden eagle, children drew pictures of Hawk with wings. Letters arrived from across the country, each saying the same. "Our story gave me strength. Your story gave me strength." Logan returned to the Veterans Center, not as a patient, but as a guide. He led others, men and women with bodies broken and spirits fading, because he understood their pain firsthand. At night, he wrote by lantern glow, page after page, flowing onto paper. too palming onto paper. By spring, his manuscript lay complete. The Hawk Who Stayed, a testament to unwavering loyalty and the power of unlikely heroes. In his dedication, he wrote, "E to the soldier who never asked for a command, but showed up and stayed. That alone, saved thy loan, saved my life." If our story of Logan and Hawk has moved you, know you are not alone. What began with a silent knock on a winter's night became a testament. The deepest loyalty often comes from those who cannot speak but understand everything. Hawk was not just a dog. He was a soldier, a healer, a brother. He stood between Logan and the end, and because of him, Logan kept breathing. At Amazing Paws Stories, we honour such true tales of hope, sacrifice, and second chances. Subscribe, share this story with someone who needs courage today, and remember, sometimes the greatest hero is not the one giving commands, but the one who never leaves your side. What will your hero do when you need them most?